Satnam. Welcome back to SoulFlow Yoga. My name is Amy, and I'm happy that you're here to share in today's energetic transfer, where we're going to be talking about Gate 7. This is a gate in the Human Design Body Graph. Right now, the sun is in Gate 7, which means that the energies and themes and archetypes of Gate 7 are being expressed in each and every one of us. You'll see them in others, and you might notice them in yourself. So it's always nice to know what that is, and also sometimes when the energy isn't consistent with our own energy imprint, how that can show up, and how we just get to experience it, sample it. And that way, maybe we understand that we don't need to think something's wrong with us, or we take things too personally, that sort of thing. So it's really, I share this information to help support you in your life's journey, but also just to see that this is an opportunity to experience something new, and what can we learn from it. There's always something to be learned from every experience. And Gate 7 is here to teach us about leadership and what it means to be a leader. So some of us are going to have this Gate 7 in our Human Design Body Graph. It's going to be very consistent leadership energy. And some of us are just going to get to sample it. Some of us just get to witness and experience that energy from a bystander, right? Or someone in the stands witnessing, or someone as a part of that leadership's team, if you will, right? We are being guided by the leader. We are being influenced by the leader. And obviously the political stage is something that we can all relate to. Those are leaders, and those are leaders that have a following, right? Have a support team, have a group of people who are supporting them, that are behind them, that align with them. And so what we're seeing, perfect example for this energy right now too. Gate 7 leadership energy is also very directional energy. It is logical energy. It's for the collective. And logical energy is all about seeing patterns that help us get into the future, or help us move forward into the future. It's like, I see a pattern that's going to help us accomplish A, B, and C, because that's where we're headed. That's where we need to go in order to thrive, in order to survive, right? So this leadership energy that has this ability to see these patterns and able to move us forward in our future, which is a positive. They're seeing what needs to either A, be built to support the collective in service of the collective, or they're seeing what maybe is a roadblock that needs to be torn down so that the collective can move forward, right, into the future, all in service. This leadership in its highest state is, in its healthiest state, is also seeing individuals in their own power and wanting them to stay within their own power. Not stay within their own power like a cage, but like they're not trying to take your power away from you. They're not trying to diminish you. They're wanting you to stand in your power. They're wanting you to have your own autonomy. They're wanting you to own your own sovereignty. So what that looks like is, if a leader says something that maybe you don't agree with, the leader also is going to listen to that, instead of to try to put you away, or shut you up, or push you out, that kind of thing. So this is a beautiful energy, and it is an energy that we all need, right? And I don't necessarily mean individually we all need, but the collective as a whole needs this energy. Remember, this is collective energy. So make sure that you're aligning with those leaders that make you feel like your voice is heard, leaders that allow you to stand in your own autonomy and your own sovereignty. They make space for you and your neighbor and the other person. And we're all different, and yet we're all connected. Okay, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here just a little bit, but this is really beautiful energy. Now, the shadow side of this energy and you maybe can already guess, is going to show up in two ways. There's a repressed side, and then there's also a reactive side. So I feel like we see mostly the reactive side because the repressed side is what's known as hidden. These are people who are leaders, but they don't want to show their leadership. They're afraid of leadership. Something about holding that position brings a lot of fear, but because they're not allowing themselves to stand in their truth, they have a lot of, I don't know why I can't, I'm tongue-tied today. They have a lot of frustration and a lot of resentment. So you might see that energy showing up this week as well when someone asks them to stand up into the leadership position. One thing I want to say also about this position, whether it's the shadow side or the high expression, is these are individuals who aren't like raising their hand to be the leader. They're not like saying, oh, pick me, pick me, pick me. They're actually just in support of the community, doing their thing to support the community, and somebody notices them, and they're always going to be noticed, and says, hey, you will make a great leader, or you would be great at this, at guiding us this in this direction. Hey, we really need somebody to do, lead the school pep rally. You would be I think you're the best person for that job. Will you do it? Can you do that for us? So this doesn't have to be leadership, like big leadership on the world stage, political leadership. This is any kind of leader within any group or any industry that is going to support the whole, in service of the whole. Okay, so back to the shadow side. So I talked about the repressed energy, shadow of this gate 7. Now the reactive is going to be the dictator. This is somebody who is going to push their agenda. This is somebody who is going to manipulate the group for their own power, right? This is someone who wants to take your power away, or they might manipulate you to think that you still have your power, but you really don't, because they just trapped you in a pattern. Notice patterns are very prevalent here with this energy. It's logical. Patterns are always going to be there. They've trapped you in this pattern of fear and lack. Okay? They want you to feel like you need them in order to get out of the lack, or to get out of the victim mindset, or to get out of this fear mentality. But the truth is, they're going to keep you in that trapped mindset. Okay? They have a similar mindset, similar energy frequency, and like attracts like. Okay? So how do you transcend this if you're feeling a little bit like you are in lack mindset, but you don't want to be? You want to be in abundance mindset. You want to be in service to the all. Well, that's what we're going to practice this Kundalini Yoga set today, because it's about getting into your heart space. All right. So fear lives at these lower frequencies. First chakra is, the shadow side of that is all fear. Think about COVID when everybody was buying toilet paper. Fear, fear, fear. That's that first chakra that it's located in the rectum. I mean, how funny is that? You can't make this stuff up. So we want to bring ourselves up into the heart center. The heart center is where we connect to our truth, to our identity, and this gate is in the identity center. This is also called the G center, and I like to think of the G as the God center, the God within. All right, this is where we feel abundant. This is where we feel like we're so in touch with who we are that we know exactly where we want to go and where we need to go. All right, it becomes apparent to us. Each step is laid out in its own time, in its own path, and we honor that for ourselves and for others. Okay. You'll also notice between this gate, there can be a little bit of push and a pull, right? But also I want to mention this week that the Earth is in gate 13, which is also in the identity center. It's also collective energy, and it is about a listener. It's about being a listener, all right? So when we listen, and it's also about when we listen, we gather information, and this information helps us to know when to show up, when not to show up, how to show up, and what we need in order to make the next right move or the next right step in service of ourselves, our tribe, our community as well. All right. So the shadow of that might be blurting out or thinking that your way is the only way, very narrow-minded as opposed to a bit more open. So this week, also ground yourself in the ability to listen to your heart. What is it sharing with you? Not the mind. Don't let the mind muddy the waters of the heart space. And listening to others. What are others telling you? What are they telling you without directly telling you? Can you ask questions to learn more about what they're telling you? To gain more insight? Maybe to gain even more connection with the other. So, like going back to gate 7, that shadow is division. So when you can listen, you can open up your heart to listen, you can cross over the chasm or the gap or that divide between two differences. You can see the other person's perspective. And when you open that up, they can see yours as well. So I'm gonna hopefully wrap this up with a bow, and we're gonna move into this Kundalini Yoga set. It's gonna be short and sweet, but I want you just to know that this is designed to get us into that heart space so that we can be better listeners of our heart and then better listeners to others. And then we know when we're being called to leadership or when we are being called to support a leader that aligns with what our heart is telling us. Okay, let's come into a comfortable seated position. We're going to tune in. And remember, we tune in with the Adi mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. We chant this 3 times. And why do we chant this? We chant this not only to come into our heart space, to come into that deep essence of who we are, but also to connect with those ancestors that came before us, the golden chain of teachers that came before us, those that hold our best interest in their hearts, in their minds. They are like spirit guides looking out for us, if you will. So bring the palms together and begin to rub them vigorously. And then we'll bring them into that heart space in prayer pose. Sitting up nice and tall, roll those shoulders back, close the eyes, roll the eyeballs in towards the nose, up towards the space between the eyebrows. This is the 3rd eye. This is opening up that 6th chakra. Being able to see the unseen, know the unknown. Take a big deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Feel your body settling here. And again, big deep inhale. And exhale, bringing your awareness here into this present moment. Let everything else, beginning, ending, what came before, what will come after, let it fall away to the wayside. This is your moment. Take a big deep inhale. We'll inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Big deep inhale through the nose. And exhale. Let the hands come down, let them rest on top of the knees or the lap, wherever you're seated. Take a big deep inhale through the nose. And exhale, gently open the eyes. All right, we're going to come up onto our hands and our knees to start in tabletop. All right, we're just going to do a quick little warm up for the spine. So palms should be on the floor, directly underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. And your neck is in alignment with your spine. We're going to inhale, lift the chin, drop the belly. Exhale, scoop the belly out, chin to chest. We're just going to do a couple of these. One more inhale, one more exhale, and inhale back to neutral spine. All right, staying here. We want to move on. Now I want you to move your hands in front of you about 2 hand spaces. All right. You're gonna plug those toes into the floor. All right. Then you're gonna push yourself up away from the floor. Your booty comes up. Okay, back is straight. Now bring your ears towards your biceps. Maybe you need to move your arms a little bit wider than shoulder distance, and then wrap those shoulders around the torso. All right. Your feet can be wide as well. Notice I'm on my tippy toes. Okay, stay on your tippy toes. And then bring your hands up onto your fingertips. All right. If this is difficult for you for any reason, no problem. Come down to your knees and then lift your feet up off the floor. Okay? Now, let's come back into that starting position. From here, this is like a triangle. Tippy toes, fingertips. Now I want you to start swishing your hips back and forth. Think of an animal swishing his tail. All right, you can close your eyes and just breathe gently, normally. Just letting, no need to control your breath here. Continue to move. If you need to come out of it and take a break, that's okay. Come back into it. I'm only here for a few more seconds. Stay with me. All right, on your next inhale, come to center. Exhale, lower those knees to the floor. Come back onto your heels for just a moment. Reset yourself. All right, now grab a stack of pillows, or blankets, or a pillow, or if you have a meditation pillow, grab that. We're gonna come into easy pose. And you're gonna want to sit on the edge of those folded blankets or pillow or your meditation pillow. Just the edge of it, all right? Bringing those legs into cross position, easy pose, whatever's comfortable here for you in that position. Now we're going to take our arms, we're going to grab the opposite elbow with our hands, and I want you to bring those forearms underneath your rib cage. This is the diaphragm. This is where we want to hold this position. You want to even press up into that diaphragm. Okay, you're sitting up nice and tall, and then from here, you're going to lean back to about 60 degrees, and then you're going to start rolling your shoulders forward. Go ahead and close your eyes. Keep your neck in alignment as well. Engage your root lock. That's like doing a Kegel or stopping the flow of urine. That will also engage that internal abdominal core muscle system and protect the low back. Keep those forearms connected to your diaphragm. And continue those forward circles. If you're a visual person and you want to visualize that heart space, just think of this as like giving your heart a big hug. And take a big inhale, hold, and come back up to sitting nice and tall. Pressing into the diaphragm. And exhale, release those hands. If you want to shake out your arms, you want to do that. And now we're going to come out of easy pose. We're going to come into child's pose. We're sitting in rock pose. Let's just start in rock pose. All right, if you have any kind of a back injury, low back injury of any kind, make sure you still have your pillow or your stacked blankets nearby. We're going to And if you don't need it, that's fine, but just have it nearby just in case. We're going to interlace our fingers, but we're going to do that behind our backs. Okay, so roll those shoulders up and back, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Inhale here, exhale, fold forward. Bringing the forehead to the floor, or like I said, if you have any low back, issues, injury of any kind, you don't really want to round your back. You want to keep it as straight as possible, so that's why forehead to those stacked pillows is so important. And if you don't need that, you can bring your forehead all the way to the floor. Again, remember you've rolled those shoulders back and down. You're squeezing those shoulder blades together, lifting those arms up as high as you can as that forehead is touching the floor or your pillows. Okay, and from here, just long, deep breathing. I want you to feel that chest opening with every inhale, expanding with your inhale, and then it's contracting with your exhale. Not only is this the heart center, it's the pranic center. Pranic center is the front and the back of our upper torso, not just the front. Keep those arms lifted, and then keep those shoulders out of the ear space. Keep them from dropping down into the ears is what I'm trying to say, okay? Lift, lift, lift. Again, bring your awareness, your visual to that heart center. Feel it growing and expanding with every inhale. And it's just resting with every exhale. Now on your next inhale, I want you to inhale yourself up and drop those arms. Do your fingers, bringing them hands to rest on top of the thighs. Just take a moment here. Eyes are closed. Just take a moment. Gently open the eyes. All right, coming back into easy pose. And then having your stack of blankets, or your pillow or your meditation pillow nearby, bringing those behind you. Let them rest up against your bottom or low back. Okay, now options, you're going to either remain in easy pose, or if you're able, you can come into half lotus. Okay, that's when your foot comes all the way up into sort of that hip socket as much as you can. Or if you're able to, come into full lotus, or whatever is as close to that as you can muster, okay? Now from here, we're sitting up tall. We're gonna bring those hands back behind the hips, and we're actually going to rest on our forearms, lift the heart center, eyes are closed. Keep those shoulders out of the ears. Again, we don't want to drop down, we want to lift up. Open up the heart center. And let your breath just be whatever it wants to be. If this is difficult for your neck for any reason, you can bring your head up, chin a little closer to the chest, but not all the way to the chest, okay? Try to keep it in alignment here. Still opening up the heart space. That's right. more seconds. On your next inhale, push yourself back up, sitting up nice and tall. And with your exhale, you can come out of that lotus pose. And we're going to gently and slowly bring our legs out in front of us. And begin to just shake them out. So imagine the back of those knees banging into the floor. Shake those legs out. All right. Now from here, we're going to keep those legs out, stretched out in front of us. Our flexibilities are all different. Our bodies are all different. So just honor yourself where you are today. Any of my practices, this is about focusing on what you can do. We don't worry about what we can't do. That's not important. Focus on what's working in your life, and more of that will come your way, okay? So from here, your legs are going to be straight or straight as your body will allow today in this moment, okay? Inhale those arms up over the head to lengthen through your spine. Imagine lifting yourself up off the ground here, and then leading with the heart center, fold over those legs with the hands drop wherever they want to, all right? If you are able to touch your toes, take your peace fingers, wrap them around the big toes, and press the thumb into the toenail, all right? Now from here, we're going to inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold over. And we're going to continue to do this just nice and slowly here to begin with. And then we're going to speed it up, all right? So your knees can be bent if that feels more comfortable. Remember, you can be holding on to your ankles or your shins, and you can still do this movement and get all the benefits, all right? Now, let's begin to go much more quickly and rapidly with this movement, all right? So inhale up, exhale down. One more. Inhale up. Release those toes, ankles or shins, sitting up nice and tall. Again, shake out the legs. All right. Now we're going to bring ourselves back into easy pose. We're going to move right into our meditation, or our meditative piece of this Kriya. All right, so an easy pose, and I love meditation pillows. They just help me bring my hips up higher than my knees, so much more comfortable. If you don't have a meditation pillow, I highly recommend investing in one. And they don't have to be expensive, or once again, just stack some pillows. But if you're going to invest in your yogic practice, it's well worth it. Okay, enough of that. I don't get any spiffs or anything from mentioning meditation pillows, but I thought I should. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to bring our hands into prayer pose at the heart center. Now I'm sitting sideways so I can show you, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be inhaling, holding our breath, and while we're holding our breath, we're going to pump our bellies. When you need to exhale, stop pumping, exhale, take another inhale, hold the breath, continue to pump your belly. And we're just going to repeat that cycle through a little meditative state right here, all right? So if you want to take a look at me and how it looks, you're welcome to. If you want to just jump right into it, you can do that as well. So sitting up nice and tall and easy pose, bringing those hands together in prayer pose, pressing those hands together at the heart center, okay? We're centering ourselves in our heart space here. Okay, take a big deep inhale through the nose. Make it slow and deep. Allow that belly to expand with that inhale. When you've taken in all the air you can, hold it in and then begin to pump your belly. Eyes are gazing at the tip of your nose. They're not fully closed. Stop pumping when you do the next inhale. Take one more inhale and pumping here. Exhale through the nose. Now inhale again through the nose. Hold that breath in, no pumping. Then we're going to exhale through the rounded lips of the mouth very powerfully like a cannon breath. Again, inhale nose, hold. Cannon breath, exhale through the mouth. Last time, inhale, hold. Exhale, cannon breath. Let it all go. Closing the eyes, let the hands come down, resting on the knees or the lap, palms face up. Take a moment. Going inward, and I just want you to notice what you notice. Begin to envision 30 trillion points of light radiating from you outward into all spaces of the universe. And while envisioning those 30 trillion points of light coming out of you, begin to see 30 trillion points of light beaming back out, coming towards you. Continue to envision 30 trillion points of light coming out from you and surrounding you. Take a big inhale through the nose and exhale. Wonderful job. All right, so we're going to seal that practice with one long Satnam and then the final blessing that I will share with you. You're welcome to join me if you know it. If you've practiced with me before, please join me. And if not, this is my gift to you. Just listen and enjoy. All right, bring the palms together, rub them vigorously. And then we're going to bring them back to the heart center. Prayer pose, pressing those hands together, about 5 pounds of pressure. Roll those shoulders up and back to sit nice and tall. Elongate the neck by bringing that chin back towards the throat, just a little bit. Okay, take a big deep inhale through the nose. And exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. And now we inhale to tune out. Sat. Nam. Keeping those hands in prayer pose, bring them up above the head. May peace be with you. Now to the third eye. May light be with you. To the throat. May truth be with you. And to the heart. May love be with you. And may safety, security, prosperity, and grounding be with you always. Bowing the head towards the floor. Satnam. Satnam is just a wonderful, beautiful way that we greet each other. And in its essence, it means the light in me recognizes the light in you. And although our lights may be different, we see that we are still very deeply connected because we are all here in this bodies or in these bodies on this planet at this time. So with that, be well, and until next time, mwah, I'll see you then.